Hi everyone. Today I would like to discuss in depth more about how I deal with my Venus square Pluto aspect. So, my Venus is in 7th house and it is in Leo, and it is squiring my Pluto in Scorpio in 10th house. And I would like to share my own experience of having this aspect, especially this is a very close aspect. It's around, the orb is around 2 degrees. So it's a very close aspect to my natal chart. So I would like to discuss how this played, or how this always plays its role in my life. Okay. So, one thing I have to note is that no aspect is in its own a difficult aspect, right? It depends on how much we. Okay, so Venus square Pluto in itself is a very tension aspect. When you have a square, it results in an inner tension rather than something coming from outside. In my life, this have turned out to be a pretty difficult aspect. Right from childhood, I always attracted envy, jealousy from others, especially from women. And I used to be a people pleaser. Like, I wanted to get the acceptance from those people who always showed some sort of remorse, or this aspect really did affect my self confidence. Those women, they used to comment on my hairstyle, my appearance, and the way I looked, the way I walked. I used to have so much social anxiety going out there in the world, and also making fun of the way I do things. And if that was the case from women, men also used to get triggered by the very presence of me. Some men approach me in a sexual manner, which I was not at all comfortable. I used to think I had some problem. Now, I can definitely tell how difficult for me the romantic relationships have been throughout my teenage years. So my Venus is in 7th house, which is a very beautiful place, but on the other hand, it is squiring Pluto in 10th house. So it have always been playing out in my one-to-one relationships. One scenario is that I met my ex-boyfriend in my workplace, and it went out really well for some time, and it was only 6 months, I guess. We were all of a sudden, I had to change the job because there was a layoff, and we had to switch to different job, and I got into another job that paid really well as compared to my ex-boyfriend. So there was this ego issues a bit, then we had to split up. If you have Venus square Pluto, look into which houses your Venus or Pluto is in, and you will find that those tension will arise between those houses, or matters related to those houses. So in my case, it was in one-to-one relationship or romantic relationships, and it was either affecting my work, or the workplace was affecting my one-to-one relationship. So that was how it all played out. And another thing is, I also try to be vulnerable with other person. Even if I like someone, I want to know that the other person is fully committed to me before I become vulnerable. So my way of approaching those interests are like, I keep a stern face with them, even though within myself I have lots of feelings for them, or for that person. And what I do is I start a background research. It's, but in a way it is good, but in another way, the problem is that you don't trust the other person, and you are always having those sorts of person you love would cheat you. It is some sort of insecurity within yourself, because this aspect, especially the Venus square Pluto aspect, there's a thing called low self-esteem, and also insecurity issues that have arisen from your childhood. There might have been several childhood traumas for you. So make sure that you are healing that part of yourself, even if it takes a long time. So this is the case. So what I would do is I might know that you are enough. Even if the other person leaves you at some point, you are enough. You have to be there for your inner child, and just trust it. Just it's okay to be vulnerable. Don't have to hold on tight like that. It's okay to be vulnerable, and it's okay if the other person leaves you at some point. It's totally fine. You don't have to be ashamed of that. You don't have to think it's something of your fault, because these the Pluto energy, it's actually a transpersonal energy. It's out of your control. No matter what you do, there will always be some external circumstances that could split you up with your partner. So know that, just be present in the moment, and just know that everything is going to be all right, because this is your own journey. You're meeting several people along the way. You will have some romantic connection with some of them, and that's okay, because in the end it's just you and your soul. So that's what I want to give one advice about this aspect. Another thing to note with this aspect is you may be the person who might be very much invested into a partnership in a certain way. Maybe you might go, you might be there for them, even in the worstest case. And the flip side is you might also expect the same way of behavior from your partner. But you should know that every single person out there are different, and that person might not show you the love the way you show them. So it is important to know that there might be differences, but that doesn't mean that they don't love you. Stop being too much overly arrogant if the other person doesn't meet your standards. Just try to love yourself. Start from simple self-care habits, and know that even if the other person doesn't meet your standards, or even if the other person doesn't love you the way you love them, know that it's okay, and that you are there for yourself, even if your partner doesn't meet much of your standard. Never choose a partner for any other aspect other than true love or true sense of partnership, because all the other materialistic aspects or whatever you are, it could backfire, and it's not the right way to uh, have a partnership. Always follow your gut feeling, follow your intuition, take time to select someone, because once you are in a partnership, you give it your all. So that's all, my beautiful souls, for today. And this is my first video. My astrology journey started back in 2017. I have been learning a lot regarding this. I'm also into human design. So I hope you all like this. And please let me know in the comments what all improvements need to be there, because this is my first ever YouTube video, or first ever video I'm sharing. So thank you for listening, and have a nice day. Bye.